It's Thursday, December 16th, 2010, and you're watching Streamlined News, brought to you by SwimOutlet.com, the web's most popular swim shop. Perhaps it's ironic that the short course swimming world championships are taking place in the middle of a desert, since the world record drought the swimming world has dealt with for the past 11 months is now over. 3 world standards have been set in 2 days of swimming in Dubai, and we're likely to see more by the time the meet ends on Sunday. We told you about the first world record of 2010 yesterday. That was set by the Chinese women in the 800 freestyle relay. Ryan Lochte set record number 2 today in the 400 IM with a 3:55.50, beating Laszlo Che's record. Lochte wasn't under world record pace until the 350-meter mark, which is unusual when it comes to beating these records set in tech suits. Most often, the tech suit records are set with blazing fast back half splits, but Lochte was able to outsplit Che on the breaststroke and freestyle legs. Usmanuli lurked in 3rd place for most of the race, then shot past Tyler Clary for the silver medal, almost going under Che's old mark. Clary settled for 3rd. The 3rd world record was a dogfight in the men's 800 free relay. Russia and the United States were the only 2 in the record hunt after 400 meters, and it was the Russians who got to the wall first in 6:49.04. The United States fought hard after a relatively slow leadoff leg by Peter Vanderkay, with Lochte contributing a 140.48 split about 2 hours after his grueling 400 IM. The win by Russia is a bit of a revenge, as the United States beat Russia at the long course world championships last year, with both teams breaking the world record there. A little bit of drama took place in the men's 100 backstroke, with Stanislav Donets winning outright in 49.04, just off Nick Thoman's world record. Apparently touching second was France's Camille Lecour, but the results board showed that Lecour had been disqualified, giving the silver medal to Spain's Ashwin Wildebauer and the bronze to Thoman. But after an appeal was won by the French delegation, Lecour's time was reinstated and he was on the medal stand with the silver medal. That moved Wildebauer to 3rd and bumped Thoman off the medal stand. Sources tell us that the stroke and turn official initially thought Lecour had stayed underwater past 15 meters on the final turn, but video evidence showed Lecour did not violate the 15-meter rule. The official later said he mistook Lecour for Ryusuke Irie, which would have been understandable if the two were in adjacent lanes, but Lecour was in lane 5 while Irie swam in lane 8. Rebecca Soni and Natalie Coughlin gave the USA 2 more gold medals, with Soni winning the 50 breast after trailing for the first 35 meters. Coughlin took out the 100 back fast, leading from the start, and held off the 2 Chinese swimmers to set an American record with a 56.08. Her previous record had stood since 2002. Ariana Kukors bounced back from a disappointing 400 IM yesterday to take the top seed in tomorrow's 100 IM final with an American record. And Cesar Cielo remains king of the 50, posting the fastest time in the world in the semis with a 20.61. He's just 3/10 off Amory Laveau's world record. We've got race recaps from all races from tonight's swimming on swimmingworld.com. And in other news, Steve Lochte and his daughter Kristen are no longer coaching at Daytona State College, according to the Daytona Beach News Journal. After a month-long investigation that found questionable actions being taken by Lochte in terms of disciplining athletes and bringing up the team's grade point average, Steve Lochte has submitted his resignation and will receive a 4-month severance package. Kristen Lochte will remain assigned to administrative work starting on January 3rd for 90 days, with the option of remaining at the school until the end of her contract in June. A source tells us at Streamlined News that Steve Lochte will put his primary focus now on his USA Swimming club team, Daytona Speed. The Associated Press is reporting that FINA and the World Anti-Doping Agency are finding themselves at odds with the Chinese Swimming Federation after reducing a swimmer's lifetime ban for drug use down to just 2 years. Yang Kunpeng was originally given a life ban from the Chinese Swimming Federation in 2008 after testing positive, in accordance with that country's zero-tolerance policy. But FINA and WADA stepped in to reduce Yang's sentence to just 2 years, which would have made him eligible to compete in May 2010. China struck back, though, saying the sentence reduction would not be honored and Yang would continue to be barred from all sanctioned competitions in China. This would mean Yang, who was a 3-time silver medalist at the 2006 Asian Games, would not get a chance to qualify for next year's World Championships or the 2012 Olympics. The decision by China is not unprecedented, though. Great Britain bars their athletes from ever competing in the Olympics if they fail a drug test, according to the Associated Press. And track and field athletes who return after a ban of 2 more years often find themselves locked out of many competitions as well. That's going to do it for Streamlined News today. Thanks for watching.